Picture this. I'm tending my garden in my front yard, pruning roses like always. Then Karen, the HOA president, sets me up, claiming my yard's a code violation and slapping me with fines. She even calls the cops with a fake report to seal the deal, framing me for penalties. That's not just petty. It's a full-blown declaration of war. Guess who got arrested when I turned her lie into a trap? Karen thought she could bury me in tickets and strut off smug. She didn't know she'd picked a fight with the wrong guy. I didn't just clear my name. I exposed her scheme and watched her get cuffed for her own crime. You're not going to believe how this played out. Karen figured she could pin her rules on me and slip away clean. She had no clue I'd dig up her fraud, rally the block, and make her the suspect in her own plot. This story starts with a sneaky setup, twists through a sharp counter, and lands with a victory so sweet you'll be cheering. Stick around, because Karen's about to trip over the lie she tried to sell. Let's set you down in Willow Creek, a quiet Illinois suburb where ancient elms shade tidy lawns. Kids pedal beakis to dusk. Porches hum with stories older than the street signs. I'm a retired electrical engineer, 65, more at home wiring circuits than shaking hands at HOA potlucks. My wife passed a few years back. Her love for gardening was my guide, her laugh my light. Every weekend, I tend our front yard roses, a patch of red and white bloom she planted. It wasn't just a hobby. It was a tribute where Scout, my old mutt, would nap in the shade, where her memory kept me grounded. Every petal was her warmth. Every prune was my pride, a ritual I'd guard with my life. Willow Creek wasn't all blossoms. New money rolled in. McMansions sprouted like weeds. Their gates gleamed brighter than their souls. Enter Karen, HOA president, the self-crowned queen of Willow Creek Estates. She ruled with a clipboard sharper than her perm. She didn't manage. She crushed. Her bylaws choked anything free. Wrong mailbox color, a $300 fine. Too loud crickets, warning letter. Clara, my neighbor, got a $400 hit for a tacky birdbath. It had a squirrel, big deal. Karen's patrols were clockwork. Her SUV prowled at dawn. Her clipboard snapped like a trap, sniffing out joy like a bloodhound on a scent. Willow Creek Estates wasn't a community. It was her empire. Neon notices were her lash. Her smug grin was a wall nobody dare climb. My roses were her obsession. Grown legally on my lot, zone free they bloomed. No HOA rule touched them. I kept low. Pruning days, tinkering nights, no fuss. Folks knew me as the garden guy, not a rebel. I liked tending blooms, my wife's spirit in the petals. Clara brought coffee, admiring the colors, griping Karen's fines. Her mailbox took a $350 hit for chipped green. Jamal, the local carpenter, cursed a $450 smoke fine. His grill was poetry. Rosa, whose roses bloomed like a dream, paid $500 for excessive petals. Petals? I'd chuckle, knowing my permits outranked Karen's pen. I'd wired grids tougher than her. A clipboard was a toy, but Karen's eyes locked on my garden. She called it unkempt once. Her sneer cut deeper than a blade. Unkempt? It was my tribute, my heart. I defend it with every wire in my soul. She sent warnings. Code violation. Public nuisance. I fired back with permits, council nods, all clean. Karen didn't care. Her notices stacked up. Each was a jab, daring me to swing. I filed them. Engineers calm holding. Trace the fault, don't spark. But her complaints grew nastier. Her threats sharpened, muttering cops and worse. To her, I wasn't a neighbor. I was a holdout. My roses, my wife's memory, were her target. One she'd bury till they were gone. Karen's war kicked off with a sting. A neon notice was taped to my mailbox. Her HOA seal glared like a subpoena. She didn't knock. She barged, standing in my yard like she owned my roses. Your garden's a violation, she said, flipping her clipboard with a nail sharp as her smirk. Fines are coming, and so are the cops. Violation? My roses were legal, zone free since I moved in, prettier than her tacky lawn gnomes. I leaned on a rake, sipping coffee, and slid my paperwork over. City stamped, bulletproof. Not your yard, Karen, I said, voice flat as a breaker box. It's my home. Her lips twitched. Her eyes glinted like a con spotting a mark. Yards don't run Willow Creek, she purred, venom in her latte-sipping grin. Rules do. Rules bite. Bite? That wasn't a chat. It was a setup. I peeled the notice. Scout's growl matched my gut. I figured she'd back off. No chance. By week's end, fines piled. Printed official. Absurd. Un permite de landscaping, $400 fine. Aesthetic nuisance, $300. Community discord, $500. Discord? My roses were quieter than her holiday inflatables. I filed them, instincts humming. Log default, don't spark. But Karen wasn't tossing darts. She was framing a case. She crashed my evening pruning. Petals fell. Her SUV parked like a roadblock. Clara weeded nearby. Jamal fixed a gate. Rosa watered her own roses. Karen ignored them, zeroing on me. Her clipboard tapped like a gavel. That mess is tanking our property values, she said, voice dripping scorn. Fix it, or we act. Act. My yard wasn't her court. I clipped a stem, cool as a fuse. Permits are clean, Karen. You got no shot. Her grin turned icy. She wasn't debating. She was accusing. Clara whispered, she's trouble. Jamal nodded. Find my grill, $450 for smoke. Smoke? Karen's eyes dared me to swing. Then it hit. A Monday, sirens wailed. Cops rolled up, Karen's call, claiming I'd built an illegal structure. A structure? My roses were a garden, not a shed. My blood boiled. Engineers don't short. We rewire. She thought she'd won, but her lie had just tripped a switch she couldn't cut. Karen's frame-up didn't just sting. It scorched my soul. Calling the cops with a fake report wasn't a jab. It was a full-on conspiracy, targeting my tribute like it was filth. The fines didn't pile. They choked. Each was a bolder lie. Hazardous landscaping, $800 fine. Hazardous? My roses drew bees, not complaints. Public endangerment, $700. Their scent was sweeter than her lies. Then came neighborhood blight, $1,000, claiming they tank curb appeal. Appeal? Neighbors snapped photos of my blooms, not her venom. I locked them in my safe, instinct screaming. Build a circuit, don't fry. But Karen wasn't playing. She was framing. My garden was her prey. I sniffed a scam. Years wiring systems taught me to spot shorts. I checked my lot. Permits were tight, no violations. But signs grew. Clara caught Ted, Karen's lackey, scoping my yard. Said it's for a survey. She hissed, but he had a camera. Camera. Jamal saw a bar with a contractor, Karen's inspector, packing a phone. Inspector? More like a snitch. I dusted my roses. Strange powder, enough to flag. Rosa tipme. Karen's at the diner, crowing. Garden's fine, town's clean. Clean? This wasn't a fine. It was sabotage. My roses, my heart, my fight were a target. That Monday, I faced the cops. They checked my permits, laughed at the structure claim, and left, muttering about false calls. Rage roared, but I thought of my wife. Shine, don't curse. I hit the county code. False police reports were a misdemeanor. HOA fines void. Inspiration struck. Why clear my name quietly when I could trap her? Big? I'd wired bigger grids. I set up cameras. A neighborhood watch. Open to all. To catch her lies in my yard. Ready to flip her game. I moved quiet. Cameras planted, files pulled. Emma, my lawyer pal, was on speed dial. Karen's report was flimsy. HOA couldn't trump law. State code backed me. I'd record first, expose later, letting her strut into my trap. Clara's tip came through. Karen's HOA meeting, her stage to gloat. I lined up footage, Emma's notes, Jamal's photos. Ted's text read, cops call, boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen thought she'd won. Her perm was a crown. I was the spark. This wasn't a fight. It was a sting, and her block was about to bloom. Willow Creek woke to buzz. Neighbors whispered. My garden's fines were the talk of the town. I stood by my roses, shears in hand. My blood surged like a live wire. Faces turned. Clara's eyes widened. You're that garden guy? Jamal grinned. Knew you had thorns. Karen's HOA cronies, parked nearby, froze. Ted's coffee hit the dirt. Barb's yapper choked mid-yap. Karen lounged by her gate, latte in hand. Her smirk faded. She hadn't known. She hadn't dreamed the guy she'd framed was about to turn her lie into a spectacle. I paced my yard. Fines stacked. Karen's endangerment email stung like a bad splice. Her complaints were fraud. No HOA could ban beauty. Laws shielded my roses. Then Rosa dropped a bomb. Garden gone, class saved. She framed it as blight to proper clean town cred. Class. My gut roared. Engineers don't flinch. We surge. I scoured records. Karen's bylaws, pinned solo, had no votes. Fraud, bold as her perm. I dug deeper. Emma pulled HOA files. $120,000 in fines. No receipts. Funneled to Karen's cousin's consulting scam. My watch was bulletproof, untouchable. Then the twist. Saturday dusk, my yard lit up. Chairs, signs, neighbors galore. Our truth watch kicked off. Bloom free. Stop the lies. I share my permits. Pass lemonade. 100 showed up. Then 300. Then 1,000. Comments flew. This is right. Karen's crooked. A news van rolled in. Karen flipped. Her ex-post whined about a garden mob. Mob? I'd wired her trap. My cameras hummed. Her lies were caught. Karen's meeting loomed. Her stage to spin lies. I rolled in, footage ready. My sign was lit. Truth blooms, justice stays. She'd lose it, clueless, expecting cheers. I stacked watch stats, Emma's suit, false reporting, fraud, harassment. Clara's tip came through. Ted's text read, report filed, boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen's ex-post crowed. Willow Creek's pure. Pure? She framed my heart. I was the truth. This was a fight. It was a bust, and her block was about to roar. Willow Creek's HOA hall was a volcano. Chairs were crammed. 5,000 neighbors were packed in. The air crackled like a storm about to burst. Karen stormed to the podium. Her perm was a fortress. She gloated like she'd crushed her foes. We're saving Willow Creek, she crowed. My garden's fines were her trophy. A slide slammed it as a public disgrace. Standards, she preached. Standards? She framed my soul. Neighbors stirred. Clara's fist balled. Rosa's eyes burned. Jamal leaned forward, jaw set. Karen's smirk was steel. She thought she'd own the town. She spun lies. My roses were hazardous. A blight tanking values. Half nodded, conned. Half seethed. Smelling hot. Det doset hoa zulet fly. Floors ate them like dust. Karen glowed. We've cleansed Willow Creek. Cleansed? My move. I rose, footage in hand. My sign blazed. Truth blooms. Justice stays. My voice was low, like a verdict rising. Karen, got a police report to explain? She froze. Her latte splashed. She expected cheers. Rosa Isid. Expose her lies. I hit the projector. The screen lit up with my yard. 4,000 neighbors, signs high, chanting for truth. Footage rolled. Karen's fines, no vote. Her smirk as she slapped penalties. Then my proof. Call logs, Karen to cops, claiming illegal structures. My permits flashed, clean. Camera clips showed Ted planting fake debris. The crowd roared. Jamal bellowed. Liar. Karen's face drained. It's fake. I clicked. Linda's USB showed Karen's email. File the report. No debate. Claire's clip played. Karen's ex-post. Yard crushed, town's mine. Ted's text to Barb. Report set. Pay up. Neighbors surged. Clara screamed. Crook. My footage hit local news, then CNN. Phones flashed like a wildfire. I faced Karen. Sign raised. You framed me for fines. False reporting, fraud, harassment. I tossed him his suit. $600,000 damages. Illegal fines. My garden was legal. Case 2025, WC 107. You're done. She choked. Values. Cops rolled in. My call from dawn. Sheriff Klein stepped up. Cuffs gleamed. Karen, you're under arrest. Click. Cuff snapped on her. Ted, Barb. They were dragged through jeers. Karen wailed. You can't. We did. The hall erupted. Cheers, fists high. Jamal hugged Rosa. Clara's laugh was wild. Linda yelled. HOA's done. The vote was unanimous. Bylaws were torched. Karen's crown was ash. Our watch was the flame. Rosa's clip hit 100 million views. Neighbors chanted, justice. I stood by my sign. My wife's heart was alive in their roar. Willow Creek wasn't hers. It was ours. Truth was the brightest bloom. Karen's cuffs didn't just clip her ego. They scorched her empire. Willow Creek roared. Neighbors spilled into the streets. They hugged, laughed. Clara tossed cookies like confetti. Deputies hauled Ted out. His strut was crushed. Karen sobbed. It's a setup. Setup? Her report told the truth. The DA piled on. False reporting, fraud, harassment. Charges stacked like bricks. My suit gutted her HOA. $700,000 in fines. No votes. Pure scam. Money funneled to her cousin's consulting racket. No receipts. Karen's lackey flipped. He named 100 scams. Garden sheds, all fined. All tied to her sister-in-law's Creek Realty. Clara's fence, hit in 22, wasn't unsafe. Barb's text bragged. Paid off. Rose's roses. Fine last spring. Were the same game. 100 neighbors spoke. X exploded. Hashtag Creek Justice spiked to 100 million posts. Tales spread from Florida to Maine. The council froze her accounts. $70 million was seized. Her gazebo was bulldozed. Her realty was a front for scams. Karen faced 50 years. Her plea died when Barb spilled. $1.5 million in inspector bribes. Karen's name was on each. Willow Creek didn't gawk. NBC ran Garden's truth. We pruned, laughed, moved on. The HOA collapsed. The board bailed. Bylaws burned. Neighbors raided the office. They unearthed $60 million in fines. Karen's piggy bank for luxury trips, funded by Clara's birdbath, Rose's tulips. Leela to vote. New council. No fines, just trust. Karen's standards? Smashed. Our watch shone. Clara clapped my shoulder. Your wife will be proud. Proud? I felt her, urging me to stand tall. My roses bloomed brighter. Scout napped in their shade. I added a bench for her memory. Neighbors chipped in. The pain lingered, but their cheers healed us all. Willow Creek didn't just heal. It bloomed. Our community watch, now 100 strong, meets in my yard every weekend. We garden, share stories, no fines, all pride. Neighbors pitch in. Clara brings lemonade. Rosa plants bulbs. Jamal builds trellises. Hank adds grit. It's not a yard. It's us unbowed. The watch is a beacon. Folks join from across town. Their smiles warm my soul. Karen? She's a ghost. Her curtains stay shut. I catch her peeking at our blooms. My yard hosts joyful mornings. Kids water plants. Strangers swap seeds. I stand at dusk. Scout's tail thumps. My wife's love burns bright, fiercer than ash. Justice isn't loud. It's a petal. A town that stands firm. Got an HOA horror story? A Karen who tried to frame your life? Drop it in the comments. Share your wildest clash we're watching from. I read every one. Hungry for your fire. Did this truth light you up? Smash that like. It's wiring justice to the grid. Share with your crew, neighbors, even the guy with the loud truck. New here? Subscribe. Hit the bell. We're chasing more wins, laughs, and grit. I want you in the crew. Thanks for standing with me in Willow Creek. Keep shining, fighting, crushing nonsense. Catch you next. Stay tough. Stay true.